I'd made it as far as Spain. I drove the best part of 1200 miles just to find out that the plot I'd come all this way to view was potentially getting sold tomorrow. With a cold, sinking feeling in my stomach, I packed the van down and left my little paradise spot prematurely, in the faint hope that I could get to Portugal, maybe get a view in and get my deposit in before the other people. But the way out of here was a long 2-mile, really bumpy dirt track. But it wasn't just potholes it was riddled with, also a few memories.
It was here. This is where I fell in the ditch. Slid sideways and went down there. And then within 5 minutes, 2 farmers rocked up and towed me out. That spot is done. Say in an hour and 57 minutes. I know it's probably windy, but I can't not have these windows down right now. Oh. The estate agent still hasn't got in touch with me. Hopefully I'll hear from her today. I know if my plot is gone. And then think of another plan, I guess. Maybe just look at something else. Something better might come along, who knows. I'm trying to stay positive for the minute. I remember here.
I'm so glad I come this route rather than jumping straight back on the motorway. It took a little bit more time, but a scenic route is an understatement. I'd done a little bit of this road last time before turning back round and going south, but this time it was taking me all the way to Portugal. And no matter where you looked, there was landmarks, mountains and landscapes that just took your breath away. For the first time since being out here, this felt like an actual road trip and not just a race to a destination. Barring the odd pull over to let Lance out for the toilet and a quick run around, we basically made a beeline straight for the border. But it was still a fair way. With Spain being renowned for stupidly cheap fuel, even cheaper than Portugal, I decided to get one last Spanish fill up.
Just filled up at a petrol station in a local town I've just gone through, and the diesel was 76 cents a litre. That's roughly 60p a litre. I was like, fill it to the brim. I was getting the guy to fill like the spout up. Yeah, you go to the mainstream like services on motorways and stuff, and it's still cheaper than England, but where it's at is the little petrol stations in towns. It is so cheap, and you get a guy that fills it for you. That's not just the COVID thing, they used to do that anyway. So they stood at your window having a bit of a chat. So I was saying to him where I was going, and a bit of broken English, broken Spanish, and he was saying, oh, hot right now. I was like, well, if you're struggling, how the hell am I going to cope? Bloody hell. But I think he said something like 20 miles to the Portuguese border. So yeah, we're nearly there.
This was it, one last border, and this road was going to take me to it. It'd been an absolutely mammoth drive, fraught with worries and not even sure if I could make it to the destination with the ever-changing climate. But with worry now fading away and being replaced by pure excitement, and honestly, relief, we carried on down this long and windy, empty desert road, of which I'd like to say completely alone, but this little git of a car got in the shot. And eventually we come to this crest. Beyond the crest, Portugal. We'd done it, 1500 miles. Maybe it's just me, but the moment I crossed that border there was a noticeable difference. Maybe the phrase "the grass is always greener" is true. I scoped out a scenic camping spot to park up for a bit until we heard some news. And the first park up of Portugal, wow.
I went on a dog walk earlier on, and on my way back, a little motorhome popped up, and this woman was walking down. And turns out she was German, but she could speak really good English. So we're having a good chat and stuff, and she said how she almost escaped Germany because of all this corona and all the nastiness that's coming about through society and stuff. And I was like, yeah, England's not too much better. We had a good lovely chat and stuff, and she's asked me, are you going for a swim later? I goes, yeah, I might do. See how the weather gets on. It's still boiling at the minute, so probably. She goes, yes, I think I might. And then we waved our goodbyes, and she went carried on her walk. Anyway, I got to making my lunch, plopped up on the roof, and I got up there and started to chow down and stuff, enjoying the view. And I noticed her walking into the water a bit, and I was like, oh, fair dues, she's going for the swim. And then she drops towel, and she's bollock naked. Yeah. I wasn't ready for it, man. It was like, luckily it was a bit of a distance away. But yeah, there she was, wading out there. Still, lovely lady. She looks like she enjoyed herself. I had to swivel myself around and eat my dinner that way.
Not gonna lie, this is how most of the afternoon was spent. The sun was beaten down, so the shorts and flip-flops come out. Quite an alien feeling, considering I'd left quite a cold and autumny England. And eventually the email I'd been waiting for all day come through.
I've just got an email from Melanie, the estate agent, and the plot I've just driven all this way for, it got sold today. The guys took it. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of got me a bit. I had all these plans. I've been fantasising about this plot for I don't even know how long, 2-3 months now. I even knew where I was going to put the van and build a deck for it and all this sort of stuff. I was really hyped about it. I just wanted to see it in person before I put money down. Yeah, it's not great news. But we are going to meet tomorrow, I think, and go and look at some of the plots. She's going to show me some of the properties with similar sort of what this had. This was definitely the cheapest plot I found. It was €5,900 for an acre and a half with a stream and a well and a forest behind it. It was just, it was so perfect. But it's gone, and that's life, I guess. Yeah, who knows? That might have not been the one. I'll never know, but yeah. This does, however, open up the opportunity to now go and look at actual plots in the flesh, and a number of them. You know, earlier on I got it into my head that this whole trip was just a waste of time now, but in reality that might have not been the plot, and I might now go off and see one that I've not even seen advertised, and it'd be perfect. So as long as it's got the water, it's got a little bit of trees and, you know, shaded area, and it comes within, I mean, I'm not going to go on that cheap, but as long as it comes within budget, who knows, I could find the one tomorrow. I guess I'm not letting it get to me that much. It was a couple of years ago, it would have put me on my arse a bit, but my last trip, and this year especially, taught me, you know, when things go tits up and don't go the way you'd planned it, that opens things up to become interesting, and often better than you would have ever imagined. Ambient, for example, this year, lockdown, the start of it was horrendous, but then because of that we wound up having the best time of our lives. So, you know, that lesson's sort of stuck with me. It's not the end of the world when things don't go your way. And I mean, who could be sad right now with this view? The sun is about to set. There's mountains, beautiful lake. Life is good.
The next morning I went to look at 3 plots. 2 of them had ruins on, but really wasn't what I was after. But the third one that Melanie showed me, wow, it definitely ticked the box of being off-grid. Out the way is an understatement.
That's it.
And this right here, in practice, is why I didn't pay for a good, expensive paint job. Now I relish off-roading and often take the van places it's not supposed to be, but this really was the extreme. The van was totally out of its comfort zone. But eventually we made it, met up with Melanie and she showed me around the plot. And it was damn near perfect. It consisted of 4 terraces, had its own track, granted that was a bit steep but a track all the same. Water-wise it had a stream running past it, as well as 2 wells. And unlike the original plot, this one even come with its own little building. All this accompanied with the view, oh my god. It was a high contender. I asked Melanie if it was okay to stay and really get a feel for the land. She agreed, so I moved the van down. However, I slipped on some loose ground and...
I just hit a tree. I just hit a tree. Oh, I just gotta see the damage. Oh, I can see it already. Oh. Oh, it's not that bad. Uh-oh. Or maybe it is. Oh no. Looks like this bit took the brunt of it. And that. Nothing else. That could have been a lot worse. I just backed into a goddamn tree. Oh, that's going to be fun to try and tap back. Yes. We'll get it there. Whoops.
Spending the night ticked even more boxes, but the next morning I left, trying this time not to take out any more trees. But like I said, the track out was kind of steep. But with a bit of a run up and some brute force, you become quite the rock climber. Hold up a second. That right there is a 5-ton ex-NHS ambulance popping a wheel. Then I immediately stalled it. But with the turbo screaming and a little bit of clutch smell, she eventually clambered to the top. Like I said, I asked for off-grid, I asked for rural. This is definitely that. The nearest track that you can call a road is a mile away, and the nearest tarmac road is 3. There's no power, there's no water, there's no residential building. Most people would be put off by this. Me? Oh hell yes. Instantly I fell a little bit in love with this place. Even if getting in and out is like the section of a rally stage. Back in civilization, I'd found a supermarket with camper services so I could drain down and fill the water. These things are all over Europe, most of them are free. Some even come with extra services like electric or the ability to stay the night.
Right, I'm about to do this, but I ain't recording it. What are you doing back out? Go on.
After the toilet was empty, something behind me caught my eye.
Oh yes. This is exactly what I'll be after. Learn to drive in one of these, they are so much fun.
The rest of the day was spent scoping out the local area to see what's about. I'd wandered a fair few miles and actually had no idea where I was. I was tired, so I cheated and I got on park for night. Nearby, down a 3-mile dead-end road, there was a park up that the description said not to be missed, and the photos backed up that statement. And they were right, it was. Wow. There was recently a purpose-built camper area, complete with water, barbecue, seclusion in abundance and a hiking trail. When we arrived, I was so glad I took a punt on this one. It'd been a long day of driving, so I decided to grab Lance and we were going to check out the hiking trail.
Oh. In this particular spot, I have internet. Oh dear. Let's see if it's still in the shade. It's bloody warm. Yeah. Oh, we could check a bit of WhatsApp now then. No way. Hans, go on. What a view. This is sort of what I'm thinking of building on the plot. Off one of the terraces, park the van up to it at like door level, and then it goes off over the terrace. So this is some food for thought. Oh. Ah. Ah. Come here. Can't go that way, bro. It's not finished. Come on. It's starting to get really hot now. Let's get inside and I can play some Last of Us 2. Come on. Just couldn't help himself. Had to go for a dip. Come here. If anything shows how hot it is. He's only been out of the water 5 minutes and he's not completely dry, but he's getting there. I mean, it's not the Birmingham to Houston, is it? Views from that train, oh my god. Time to get in the shade, isn't it, buddy? He's not even listening to me today, he's off. Since hitting 3, he's just become an independent little bastard. He always wants to be off on the in front. I have to call him twice, sometimes 3 times. Lance. Yeah, there you go, good boy. Get away from the edge. Give me a panic attack, dog. Oh man. You don't want to go off there. Trust me. You warm? Me? You need a drink? Go on then. Ah. There was supposed to be some epic drone shots of us walking along this road. I brought the drone for it, forgot the battery. Usually it's the SD card which is in there, but no, today I forgot the whole battery, which you can't even miss. It's like that part of the whole drone. still. Oh my god. I parked there earlier and that was going to be me for the night. So glad I didn't. Oh shit. Oh, knackered. Oh. Oh.
I settled down for the night with an ice cold cider, played with Lance, and awaited what looked to be a killer sunset. I had one or two more plots on the horizon, but honestly, the one that Melanie showed me and I stayed the night at was everything I wanted, and I'd fell head over heels for it. So after a few hours sat here pondering and weighing things up, I come to a decision. I emailed Melanie and I put an offer in.